Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. What's popping, y'all? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée on the come up. And we are ready today, man. $118,000 per Bitcoin. If you guys been following Bitcoin for a while, man, you know that us believers have been here every day. Your boy Cassius Cuvée has been here for years. And, you know, it's kind of fun to me because you guys know by now I'm a recording artist. And every time I drop a song or something, there's always some smart ass in the comments that says, top signal, top signal. So for the top signal, one more time, I'm going to drop Bitcoin Bestie because the last time I dropped Bitcoin Bestie was over a month ago with Randy Hipper right after the Bitcoin conference. And someone said, top signal, top signal. And here we are again at all-time high. So one time for the one time, it's your boy Cassius Cuvée. This is the come up every Sunday at noon Pacific time. Thanks for everybody joining in. Shout out to the chat. You guys are already active and lively in there. Happy to see you guys there. We also got the private group, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing big things in the profit circle. So shout out to everybody in the private group. But I'm going to let everybody get in here for a second, and I'm going to play Bitcoin Bestie music video because you better believe every time we hit all-time high, we playing this. So shout out Randy Hipper, who's on the song with me, and Jade featured in the video with me, and everybody else who helped me make it. But let's just play it one time while we let everybody jump in here real quick. Bitcoin Bestie. Just waking up from a nice dream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Never seen life trading on a widescreen. Bitcoin showing you the steps to own it. We got the alpha, I bet you want it. I'm having fun, send a lecture on it. Randy, put a little extra on it.
It's mutable and decentralized. No censorship or hard cap supply. It's open source and we classify the blockchain secure, and that's exactly why. It's hard money with a new plan. It bounced a lot like this new jam. If Bitcoin dipped, then we ain't gon' trip. I'ma be bullish on you, fam.
It's great for those who just DCA'd. If you stacking sats and you trying to save, some like to hodl, some like to trade. I'ma do both, just ride the wave. When price drop, don't get angry. Man, that's just how the game be. I seen worse, nothing really pains me. I'm a Bitcoin bull, can't change me.
It's the best assets of the old times, like the 1849 of gold mines. It's a gold rush happening in your time. Every 4 years gonna blow minds. Let's see, investing. When Bitcoin met me, it blessed me. Positive is just how I live. All I gotta say is stay zesty.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
By now, you should know that it's here to stay. When inflation and fiat is running away. I've been here
Shout out to the chat.
when they said it would never hit
just
100K.
getting warmed up
you
here.
Trust the banks? Well, I trust the code. Price predictions, I barely stress.
Make sure you
In a
vote in the
5
poll.
years, maybe less. When it does, you'll see it on the Daily Zest.
You should watch if you new or a clever trader. She's too cool, you could never hate her. She gotta be the #1 educator. Could explain Bitcoin to a 7th grader. Gotta say what's up to the super chat. Special shout out to the last tipper. Bitcoin Bestie, Randy Hipper. That shoe fit like a glass slipper.
Just got my friends in a frenzy. We ain't even trying to be trendy. I'm a digital girl in a digital world. Out here repping it for Gen Z. We peer-to-peer cause the future's here. All grown up and permissionless. Now picture this, we're witnesses. By now you should know what the mission is.
Crypto winner is so frigid, it's no gimmick, but I'm cold with it. I've been in it since 4 digits. Price going up with no limits. I'm Cuvée like fine wine. Whenever I rhyme, come toast me. Grab the homie, raise a glass. One love to Satoshi.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. 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 I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
Let's go.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie.
Hey, if you a Bitcoin bestie, say something in the chat.
Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. What's poppin'? Is your boy Cassius Cuvée and a great Sunday fun day. Let me pull the chat back up here. Man, Bitcoin at $118,000. You know, shout out to everybody who said that when I dropped that music video, it was a top signal. Shout out to everybody who said that because here we are again, back at all-time highs. I gotta say this cycle is definitely not like the last as far as, first of all, we had a all-time high before the halving, right? We're sitting around all-time highs during the conference. That doesn't normally happen. You feel me? And we back again at all-time highs. And Bitcoin's relentless, man. I'm telling everybody, look, this is my joke. I said, look, we're all Bitcoin maxis now. All right. RIP to a lot of altcoins and meme coins that ain't coming back to all-time highs. We see Bitcoin sitting here at $118,992 right now. Okay, it cracked 119,000 early this morning. And this is something kind of crazy. This is why I wear the Bitcoin pin around my neck. This is why I dropped that song I Know in 2022, but near the beginning of the bear market. And I went on CNBC and told the world that I know Bitcoin is coming back. And it's relentless, man. It's inevitable. We all know by now, everybody tuning in this probably knows that fiat ain't where it's at. But we also can trade those altcoins. We can trade those shit coins. And that's why you're here with your boy Cassius Cuvée on the come up. There's more than one way to get it. Sure, if you want to hodl Bitcoin or DCA into it, I'm all for it. But if you want to be a little more nimble, get in and out of stuff, we got strategies and a lot of cool stuff to do that as well. Real quick, I got to say, this is not financial advice. Nothing on this show is financial advice. It's all for educational and entertainment purposes only. Right here on the screen, you will see a Breakout Prop giveaway that's going on right now. I want to call that out because they don't really do many promotions on Breakout Prop. I am one of their affiliates, so I have a discount code that you guys can use. I get a small commission for you guys using it, but you also get a discount. So anytime you purchase a Breakout Prop evaluation, enter in the code that you see on the screen, the GGRF7W, and I'll give you a discount. So, but right now, there's only 3 days left. It ends on the 16th. They're doing a giveaway. They did a partnership with me just for like a couple of weeks where they're doing a giveaway. So you enter into the contest by purchasing an evaluation. And so you can see down there on the flyer, I'll pull up the flyer a little bit bigger here, that basically you get more entries the higher evaluation you purchase right here on Breakout Props. So I definitely want to say that right here at the beginning. Shout out to the chat. Y'all are looking real lively this Sunday fun day. Middle of the summer, man. You know, it's great weather out here in the Bay, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? But we got Matt in the chat. We got Frenzy. We got Servando. We got Blockchain Cowboy. Man, we got Jesus. I don't know how you pronounce the last part of it. Jesus Annalie. We got All Set is in the house. Man, you guys are live. I can see it right there. Blockchain Technology in the house. We got let's see who we got on here. Aeon. We got Aeon Abib 777. Shout out to y'all, man. And shout out to the wave makers in the Discord, you guys. So I want to definitely talk about this. I'm gonna keep this up here just for a minute, and then we will for sure get into these charts here. This is Bitcoin right now. I mean, just pushing. And I also have some concerns or things to watch out for, I should say, because, you know, when you hit all-time highs, usually things keep going. There's an old saying, I called this out in the Discord, where it says, you know, you never short an all-time high and you never long an all-time low. Those things I find to be pretty true because, you know, momentum is how markets move. And usually when they push through, they keep going. So we got to watch. But I do have some warnings, some things to look out for. I definitely want to call that out. It's in relation to the stock market as well. Today's the weekend. And I did call out in the Discord that, you know, if we go stronger to the weekend, we probably will see some pumps this weekend, which is surely what we have seen. At first, it was a lull, and then we pumped again. So, yeah, we got the poll there. 90% so far saying, yes, we will see 120K this week. Or I said Monday, but okay, this week. I mean, this momentum is pretty damn strong, y'all. But again, not all altcoins are created equal, right? So we've got a lot of pump this morning on a lot of the more classic coins, if you will. I don't know what you want to call them, utility coins from last cycle and stuff. And we're going to get into that, but also some opportunities that were had over the weekend for some altcoins or Friday. Really shit coins, I should say. Real small coins that do a lot of pump and dump type of activity. And, you know, there's strategies around all this stuff. So we're going to get into that. But again, not financial advice. Nothing I stand here is financial advice. And we want you to win. My passion. So let me just look in the camera and say this. So when it comes to trading and investing, crypto can be very volatile and very dangerous. So, you know, I want to teach people how to make money, sure, but my passion is to help you avoid getting wrecked. And my man Floppy Grubber, when he was on my show, he said, Cassius Cuvée. I said, I'll take that, man. Cassius Cuvée. I swear to God, every time I don't stick to the strategy or I don't get cautious, get a little too loose, that's when I get burned. When you stick to the strategy, it works. So slave to the system, you master the money. Slave to the system, you master the money. So I'm telling you, man, you know, every time I try to get cute, that's the only times I get burned. When I stick to the system, I don't get burned. I want to talk about this too. I got a list of some things. We're going to go over the scalping strategy. Someone asked me about that this morning in the Discord group. So the Discord, by the way, so here's the other thing. I want to take this down so I can show you guys. So I am also an affiliate with Phemex. We're going to talk about copy trading. I just started a copy trading account with Phemex. And so we're going to get into that. You can copy my trades directly with your Phemex account. Okay. Oh, Frenzy asked about the scalping. Yep, we're going to go over that and copy trading. But so Phemex, I am an affiliate partner with Phemex as well. and I may earn a commission if you utilize this code to create your account. But you guys, you get special perks. Some of them I can't even say broadcast live. If you create a Phemex account with my code right here, GMMNX5, do it right now. Even if you already have a Phemex account, if you haven't created one with my invite code, do it right now, and you're going to see how easy it is. It's even easier than if you were to just sign up on your own. There's also qualification for special bonuses that come with that because I'm an affiliate partner. We even have oh my God, there's a promotion going on right now. I forgot, where you get $20 if you deposit. There's several things. We're gonna have to post that up in the link of the description of this video is where you can do the copy trading as well. But Phemex is how you get free access to my private Discord. So I got to record a new welcome video for the private Discord, but basically this is how it works. In the private Discord, now it used to be you had to use my Phemex account to create use my Phemex invite code to create an account, and then you get access to the Discord for free for 1 year. What we've done is, when I say we, as me and my admin, we've opened up the general chat in the wins and a couple other the channels that are just so anybody can join. But I got to tell you, the reason why we have some of it still, behind a paywall, basically, you don't have to pay. It's $99. If you use my code, it's free for a year. But we have like the market analysis. We have some of the people with future trades. They're going to show you your entry, exit, and trade setups. And it's not just me. We got some other great traders in there who contribute as well. And so we want to make sure everybody has access to that who is a real trader. So by having this one little gatekeep, it's free. You just use my invite code to create a Phemex account. It keeps out a lot of riffraff, the spammers and the scammers and all that other stuff. As of now, they can actually join. Anybody can join the general chat and put anything in there. Me and my admin will kick them out if they're not, a real trader though. So we run a tight ship, we run a clean ship, and I want people to know if they join, it's going to be real conversations about trading. Not a lot of tangents going on. We're looking for opportunities. We're sharing ideas, sharing trade setups. So definitely join the Profit Circle and become a wave maker. That's the name of the crew. And, you can contribute. Doesn't matter if you're very experienced. We appreciate your experience. If you're new, that's great too. You can come in there and ask questions. Everybody so far has been real helpful about answering questions and helping folks out there. So special shout out to the wave makers who contribute every day. And we're in there all day, man. If you guys know, we in there all day. So shout out to the wave makers. I'm in there. We got Blueberry doing big things in there. We got Matt Edema in there doing big things in there. KPLU. So a lot of people going hard. We got the admin. He's been trading. He's learning and asking a lot of questions as well. A lot of big things happening. Again, you join for free just by creating an account with my Phemex referral link. And right now, it's actually a bonus. There's some bonus discounts right now. $20 for just signing up. I think you get $20 just for depositing more money. I'm gonna go over those rules in a little bit later. But oh my God, there's so much stuff popping right now. One more time before we get going, I just want to go. The Breakout Prop right now has a contest. So if you're just now joining, Breakout Prop has a contest. They never do this. So if you purchase an evaluation, you automatically get entered. There's only a few more days for this. So make sure. So it's just breakoutprop.com. And then you enter my discount code. You have to enter my discount code. It's a partnership with just me only. GGRF7W. You save some money on the evaluation, and then you automatically get entered into the contest. So here we go, Matt. So how do I, so Matt says in the chat, how do I, how the hell do I send more super chats? And YouTube won't let me. Oh, dang. I don't know, Matt. If anybody can help out Matt figure out how to send more super chats, I would appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We got 1 to 5 in there. I said I'm a freestyle if we get 5 super chats, so we got to put in some super chats. But I can't believe they won't do that. I don't know, Matt. I got to learn better about the super chat, and that's how I can make a little extra cash here and put it in the trading account. Bitcoin, all-time high, like right now, a $19,000 Bitcoin right now. So here it is right here on the chart, $19,000. So I have some things I want to go over today, but I will address, like I put warning question mark on the thumbnail because this is what I'm looking at. I'm always trying to protect people from getting wrecked, right? Some people long the top. That's kind of their strategy, right? I've seen CryptoFace do it and been successful when we're having a real big fervor. But then it's kind of hard because then when you take profit, right? Like when you're in price discovery. So not everyone knows what price discovery is, so I'll explain that. Price discovery is when there's never been a price this high before. So as the price goes up, right? There's no TA that tells us exactly when to take profit, right? Like some people have different theories, spider lines or whatever, but there's nothing up here, right? There's no, we can go back as far as you want to go back. And Bitcoin's never been this expensive before, right? So nobody knows where this will end, right? Where, how high before we get one of these, right? Nobody knows, right? But in crypto, I'm going to tell you that it's inevitable there's a pullback. This ain't the stock market, okay? I swear to God, the NASDAQ's the most rigged market I've ever seen in my life, okay? But that's what this brings me to. And I'm looking at this. Today is Sunday, right? And I called it out in the private group that when the market is on the weekend, when the stock market is having a weekend break and crypto goes into the weekend with a lot of momentum, it kind of ain't no telling. And I always say, like, when the cat's away, the mice will play. That's kind of what crypto is on the weekends when you're having like a bull run or a bull moment or bull cycle, within a cycle, like right now, that like if you go into the weekend bullish, everyone's excited, everybody's buying, looking for what they can buy, and things pump. And like sometimes they can get over their skis, okay, on a weekend. And we're kind of doing it on a lot of stuff right now, and that's what I'm kind of concerned about. So this is the NASDAQ, all right? Let me turn off this. I'm fooling around with this new indicator here. I'm going to get into that another week. So this is the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100. And if you notice, the NASDAQ didn't make a new all-time high. Now, it had been making all-time highs, and essentially Bitcoin and crypto finally played catch-up. Even though this was going higher, Bitcoin was barely limping up, and altcoins were dropping. So it seems as though we make a catch-up all at once, and that happens in crypto a lot of times. It's like, man, everyone kept thinking we'd have a drop down on the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ just kept getting stronger. I am with the thesis, and I have not been wrong for a long time on this, that Bitcoin basically follows the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ 100, essentially the same as the NASDAQ. It's just the top 100 tickers in the NASDAQ, so they're like 95% of the NASDAQ. So when you look at the NASDAQ here, I'll show you what the NASDAQ ticker is here, NDQ. It nearly looks exactly the same, okay? Let's go with the NASDAQ 100. It's all the top 100. So the concern that I am having is that, as you can see, the NASDAQ trended down at the end of Friday. And I didn't make a new low or anything like that. It's basically sideways. But considering that this was sideways to down, we actually had 2 red days in a row, and you can see it's just barely red. And I put the SPY, that's the S&P 500, very similar to the NASDAQ. It was a red day as well. And that makes me a little bit nervous, depending on how we open up. Now, and then Bitcoin decided to go up this weekend, So that makes me a little bit nervous because of the fact that if there's a red day in the NASDAQ, I feel like on Monday, then crypto's just going to have a little mini rug pull. It just, what I have not seen yet is a day where the NASDAQ falls and then Bitcoin pumps. Like, that day don't exist, okay? Like you might get NASDAQ going sideways or something, but the NASDAQ actually goes down and Bitcoin pumps. That hasn't really happened. And part of it is that the NASDAQ has just been so damn relentless. Look how strong it is. We haven't even had a chance to see that day yet, right? I mean, the NASDAQ's been up and up and up and up. I mean, there's hardly one little pullback in, then up again. Like, whoa. It's just the most rigged market of all times. And so, sure, it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin had to get a bid. Like, you gotta be kidding me, right? And now, especially because Bitcoin's part of TradFi. So this is why I put out the warning, because I'm like, we only got, 3 or 4 more hours until the pre-market opens. And so when I look at the pre-market, that is this ticker here, NDQ1 exclamation point. This is the NASDAQ pre-market. We can't see because it's the weekend. And you're going to see this open. It'll probably gap a little bit higher as soon as it opens. But basically, this is the one you can see after hours. And then the official pre-market opens at 4 a.m. Pacific time. That's where you're going to see the movement of some stocks. Sometimes you see a quick jump or something like that. And then it's, and then you're only a few more hours, 2.5 more hours until it's 6:30 a.m. my time is when the stock market opens. And I'm just a little bit nervous that Bitcoin had such a great run in some of these altcoins. I mean, look at this, like such a great run that I'm a little bit nervous that if there's a red day in the stock market, then Bitcoin will have a sharp pullback. So I just want to put that out there. If you guys are any longs, maybe you have a take profit 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be, just keep that on the horizon. However, the flip side is this. What if the NASDAQ opens strong? You know what I'm saying? We just keep on flying. I mean, it's certainly possible, man. It's certainly possible. Some of the same stuff in the news, like tariffs and stuff, that used to tank everything right away, hasn't really been happening because we did have some tariff news at the end of the week last week, and didn't matter. NASDAQ still pumping. So, just got to call that out there. All right, again, not financial advice. You can do your own research any way you want to see. Now, one of the things I just kind of went over is the way I determined the intro trade. Let's say I was off for a week. I was on vacation for a while. I didn't do much short-term trading. But like one of the things first things I do is I evaluate the environment. So the first thing I would do is I would come in here and I'd pull up Bitcoin like on a daily chart and say, what's been going on? Well, obviously we've been bullish, right? So if we're bullish, bearish, or sideways, choppy, then we're going to determine what I want to trade. So in the private group, I have tickers that say bullish or bearish that I've reasonably recent. I'm saying if they are relatively bullish or bearish versus Bitcoin versus themselves. I want to clarify this a little bit because there's Some questions we're getting in the private group about this. And it doesn't mean that a bearish ticker never pumps. On the contrary, usually they're altcoins that pump like crazy, but they get over their skis. And then what happens is, as soon as the overall market turns bearish, they're a great opportunity to short them on the way back down. So that's what I want to try to do. I appreciate the tip. Edema right there, Matt, in the chat. I appreciate the tip, the super chat. Thanks, Matt. So what I want to get to here is that basically some of these coins I'm going to show you, they got over their skis. One's like this here, okay? So when everything first pumped, you see this coin wasn't doing jack, and then boom, right? Same with REZ. Boom, right? They weren't doing nothing for the longest time. They've been relatively bearish, and then boom. And so it was almost like a certainty that they were going to drop back down again. And that could be a massive opportunity because look how much they freaking pumped here, right? We'll call it from here. I won't even call it from here. Call it from here. This coin pumped 98%. Let's see. This one pumped even more from like right here. 250%. You know what I'm saying? These quote unquote get over their skis. And so like if you were able to catch this short up here, you know, it dropped all the way back down another 45%. In a matter of hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get that ridiculous fervor all at once, but then these ones that were in the bearish tickers, it doesn't mean that these never happen. It just means they're bearish because when you look at this, this is what it's been doing when Bitcoin was making new all-time highs, okay? This is a bearish ticker. You get what I'm saying? Look at these. So this is why they're in the bearish ticker category, because they are bearish. That little pump that we just saw was 100%. That was just this little thing here, okay? Bitcoin's back at all-time highs way up here, but this is way down here, right? This is the weekly chart. This is Bitcoin. So you see why I call those ones relatively bearish, but what that means is it's an opportunity. It means it's an opportunity so that when there is some crazy pump in Bitcoin, which pumps everything else, you can zoom in. You wouldn't even be looking at it like this because you'd be so zoomed in, it doesn't even do anything otherwise. And then you'll be like, okay, this is a bearish ticker. It's not going to the moon. If you do proper bankroll management, you can catch that short and make a lot of money in a short amount of time. So shout out Blueberry. He hit some of those. Matt, I hit a couple too. Those are some, what we call like they're opportunistic plays, you know? The way you want to play them, those, you really want to wait for that momentum to end. You got to wait for it to end because it's a short squeeze basically. And so, you know, you can get caught in it. You got to either set tight stop losses and re-enter or something like that. But you see it came all the way back down. So that's what some of these are. Now, not everybody is that quick or watches the charts every day like that. So that's fine. I just want to let you guys know that we call those out in the private group. I call them out all the time. And then other people take a look. Blueberry added some other tickers I didn't know about. Here's another one he was in right here. The Sky AI kind of had a big pump right here. Came back down. Didn't come all the way yet. But you see that's a big drop. Like if you were to catch, no one catches the exact top all the time. Of course not. But just to show you, like just down to here is 19%. And this is a matter of, this is... it's like hours. It's not even that long. So, that's the kind of thing that will happen. That why they're like, maybe this one wasn't on the bearish tickers list. It was a new one. But what was the other one? SIG or Vic. Look at this one. Boom. So like, these are called out in the private group where you catch a short up here and you can write it back down. And so I'm not saying that's going to happen to every ticker. Not every ticker looks like this. Some of these other ones did. This one's coming up like that. But I'm telling you what, if Bitcoin drops, you see how Alice, look at Alice. Do you guys know what Alice is? Do you know what Alice is? Alice is a metaverse called My Neighbor Alice. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you heard the word metaverse? If you're out there in the chat, when's the last time you heard the word metaverse? Okay? Metaverse ain't popping this cycle, y'all. If other than me asking people when's the last time they heard the word metaverse, I never hear the word metaverse. I'm on Twitter every day, okay? Metaverse ain't the cycle. You feel me? 21, exactly. When's literally the last time you even heard the word metaverse, right? So some metaverse that wasn't even popular, My Neighbor Alice, you get what I'm saying? Like that's years ago now, right? That ticker ain't going to the moon, in my opinion. This ticker is not going back to all-time highs because My Neighbor Alice is a dead project. So these are things that we're just trading for the hell of it. We're using technical analysis here on the charts to trade that for the hell of it. You see what I'm saying? This is the weekly chart. This is it in March 2024. This is it in January 2023. I wish I could show you the chart. It'd be off the charts in 2021. Okay? But my point is this is a bearish ticker. I don't give a damn what Bitcoin is doing or how high the market wants to go. This will never come back to all-time highs again. So that's why I say this is a relatively bearish ticker, and you'll see it on my list in the Discord. I'll show you real quick in the private Discord. Just like where I have it. So this is just the general chat. I have the tickers over here. And again, this is only accessible to the verified members, the verified wave makers in the group. All you have to do to create an account with Phemex is just use my referral link. It's in the chat of this video. Excuse me, the description of this video, and then put in that invite code. And then there's a bot inside Discord that will verify that you actually have an account. You just put in your user ID number from Phemex, and then it takes you to WAP. And then on WAP, what you do is you just have to click the thing to sign up for 1 year, and it says very clearly 1 year for 365-day trial period. It's totally free. You pay nothing now. And then after that, all the other channels that are over here that is kind of blocked on the screen now will get open. So one of the things that I have is the bullish and bearish tickers. So I'll show you. I just put these in here. These are like more recently, but I said, you know what, this is just like perpetual bearish tickers, right? Like this list right here. Some are more bearish than others. Doesn't mean they always stay bearish. So I just want to show that bullish tickers are more slim pickings, but look at this. Tron, XRP, Algorand turned bullish, ZIL turned bullish. So these are also in here, and I kind of update these as they go, as changes occur, when something becomes bullish. Remember, Fartcoin was hella bullish, but not so much anymore. So it's one of those things that is not ever an exact science. It's a living chart, I guess you would call it, you know, where it just kind of keeps adjusting a bit, except for some of these bearish tickers are going to stay bearish forever, apparently. I don't think my neighbor Alice is ever going back to all-time high, in my opinion. So that's why when you zoom, look how much this is down, you know? So you zoom all the way in, though, you're like, oh, this had a big pump, and it did, you know? But the moment that the market turns bearish, I think this is going to drop significantly down again, right? So this is up. How much is this up? Let's see how much this is up. So this had we'll call it from trough to peak, it went up 30%. And now if we wanted to take it back down again, we'll even call it from here down to like here. It could come back down another 20%, okay? So, you know, not the biggest move in the world. And sometimes you don't want the biggest move in the world. If they're too volatile, you can get stopped out pretty quickly on a scam wick. But you find the ticker volatility that works for you. Some people only want to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're not so volatile. And then you can use a little more leverage on your Phemex account, or you need a larger size position in your Breakout account. So that's some of the opportunities that I'm looking for. Another thing I wanted to call out is one of the things that I kind of find, you know, in the chat, I want to see if you guys agree with me on this. I was looking at something, and they're like, you know, Dogecoin, I think it was ChatGPT actually said this to me. I don't know what I was asking about, but they're like, Dogecoin kind of has their finger on the pulse of what retail is thinking. And have you guys ever noticed that, right? Like Dogecoin, obviously we know since last cycle, right? Dogecoin is traded on Robinhood. It's a very common ticker. This kind of gives you, like, you know, we got utility coins. We like Ondo and Algorand or whatever else you like, you know, but like Dogecoin is the first big meme coin. And it's kind of like, to me, can give you a little bellwether on what retail meme coins are looking at in general. Like it's its own index, if you will, right? So obviously we had a big pump on all these. It dropped over the weekend. This is the line of the CME gap for the weekend. It came back up again, and you know, but it didn't breach through this. It's weaker than Bitcoin. And so someone was asking in the Discord, you know, what do we think was pumping over? I said, well, look, it looks like a lot of the meme coins are showing weakness. Here's Moondeg, had another big pump, came all the way back down. You know, one of these came all the way back down. I'm in a short right now in it, and it's they didn't pop off as strong. But then when you look at Algorand, let me go up to some of these other ones that are some of my, I keep my list organized, kind of the bullish tickers on the top. Algorand is popping. You get what I'm saying? So some of these utility coins, some might call them dino coins or whatever, from like dinosaur from the last cycle, they're getting a bid right now. People are trying to believe in Web3 more than a lot of the meme coins that were just like a squeeze real quick, along with Bitcoin pumping. Now that being said, Bitcoin decides to have a pullback, these utility coins will probably fall too, guys. I don't see a scenario this whole entire cycle, and hell, last cycle for that matter too. I don't see a scenario that Bitcoin falls and the altcoins just keep rising. That won't happen. Now, here's Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance could fall, but that's because the altcoins are more volatile and they're perform to the upside faster percentage-wise, like in real time versus Bitcoin. But then as soon as Bitcoin falls, they will also largely outperform to the downside, unfortunately, if you're in altcoin bags like me. So, you know, Algorand, if you guys know me by now, I'm you know, Algorand, I was big bull on Algorand. I still am. I have a bag of Algorand. I never sold any of it. But like, you know, I'm just holding it on some just in case it pops. You feel me? And so we're going to have Bitcoin on our radar first. Let me pull up Bitcoin on our radar first, because that's going to tell us a clue. Now, sometimes, and I keep saying this, sometimes Bitcoin will drop. The altcoins are delayed. Bitcoin does one of these and one of these, right? And we're only still in, you know, this Monday to Tuesday or whatever. And, you know, maybe we'll watch Ethereum as kind of the lead altcoin. Let me pull up Ethereum real quick. Oh, that's up here. second. And Ethereum won't drop so much at first. I mean, think about it. Ethereum's still only sitting at $3,000. You guys, Ethereum, I stopped believing in Ethereum in 2021. But like Ethereum might do one of these and then it'll catch up to the downside, right? So Bitcoin is the leader. I like to watch it. And then coins will play catch up in one direction or the other. And then that's when the Wile E. Coyote comes in. If you're in some of these really ridiculous shit coins, looking at like a Bonk, for example, or something here, Bonk is just pumping like crazy right now. If Bitcoin drops, I promise you guys, let me zoom out to the daily. If Bitcoin drops, Bonk will do this. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I don't want people just piling in at the top here without stop losses. You know what I mean? It's risky in both directions. It's a volatile coin, but it's also like it's not going to go up if Bitcoin goes down. And you got to know that. And I mean, and I say Bitcoin might have like a 1% pullback and then it all the way jumps. If Bitcoin pulls all the way back to say 112,000, which it's great that that's a big pullback now, right? Considering how long I feel like it took us to break through this all-time high. Clearly Bitcoin broke out right here. I mean, gosh, you can see it. Ignore some of these lines. Let me look at it. Let me show you on a different chart. I have multiple charts here. This is Bitcoin USD. So like Bitcoin clearly broke out of this, right? I drew these lines a long time ago. I haven't moved them. So you got to break out like this. It's possible that you can have somewhat of a pullback. It may even just be a retest, right? This may not even be, death and doom and Armageddon for Bitcoin. It just may be a little like this and then boom, even higher. But I'm telling you, this amount of boom down like this, if it's long, especially if it takes a long time, like when I say a long time, a week or something, altcoins can fall out of favor so quick, and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you what altcoins did. I mean, it was just pick any one that was on the bearish list, and we'll just go Polkadot. How about Polkadot? You guys remember Polkadot, right? Polkadot was a huge project that they had a lot of money, you guys. This is November 2024. Right here's December. It peaked here, December 4th, 2024. Look how much this has come down, and I'm not even counting. You can't even see over here how high it was in 2021. Okay, like, let me go back. Like, this is off the charts. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Look at this, okay? November 2021. So I'm like, this is relatively bearish any way you slice it, And so, but this, I just want to show you since May. That's all I really want to show you. This is Polkadot, supposedly a real project, right? Or at least it was. This is May right here. So we had that epic pump in May. We all remember that. Bitcoin made an all-time high Ethereum. Bitcoin kind of went sideways a little bit after that. We didn't see any crazy dumps after that, right? Went to the Bitcoin conference and stuff. But Polkadot ended up making a new lower low right down here. You can see it right here. If I go like this, it made a lower low right here. So this is certainly relatively bearish. So this is why I say if Bitcoin, this is my warning on the thumbnail, if Bitcoin has a little pullback, even for 1 week, even for one, like, let's see how long 1 week was on here, right? We'll call it from, I won't even call it, well, yeah, we will call it from the top, right? 1 week. This was a Monday to Monday. Let's see, next Monday. Sheesh. Monday to Monday was here. Down 29%. You see what I'm saying? And then continued down farther when Bitcoin was kind of going sideways. So that's why I'm like, this is a relatively bearish ticker. Doesn't mean you won't get a pump like this, but that pump ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, relatively speaking, ain't like that big relative to itself. And that, one more thing, I just want to clarify that. This is relative to itself, right? It didn't breach its May highs. That's the other thing. In the bearish or bullish, relatively bearish or bullish tickers, it's not just like the Bitcoin Polkadot pair. It's relative to itself on the chart. Like, if this had been a coin that shot up to here right now, higher than itself, then it would be probably neutral to Bitcoin. Because let's see, neutral. Here's Bitcoin, right? Right? Bitcoin, this is the May high of Bitcoin, and it's relatively higher now, right? There ain't that many that are relatively bullish, like, compared to themselves. So Bitcoin is like this much higher than itself. How many coins, if I can even find any that are that high? Let's take a look at XRP. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP was pretty bullish, right? I'm in an XRP long right now that I've been holding since the bottom. Boom, XRP bullish, right? So this is even outperforming Bitcoin just to the eye test as far as relative. This was its May high, and it's pointing up. You see what I'm saying? It actually breached this level, meaning that it's relatively bullish. It's a bullish ticker. It's been bullish all cycle. But then if I look at, we just saw Polkadot. I mean, listen, I'll just stop Myro or just pick one. May. You know what I'm saying? relatively bearish. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I have those on that list, because it gives me a high level of confidence, high conviction, we would call it, in a trade that when this momentum stops to the upside on Bitcoin, so you got to do your TA on Bitcoin first, but whenever this momentum stops to the upside on Bitcoin, those shit coins are an opportunity to short because they will outperform to the downside, like with high confidence. Now, weird stuff happens, short squeezing stuff happen, which is why you're going to see me so diversified. Here's my Phemex. You see I got way too many positions on Phemex, right? But that's why I like to diversify, because of the fact that, you know, I don't know how much is going to go down or which one to get squeezed, and you kind of spread it out. And that's kind of my main approach to that. Yep, BTC again, new all-time high. Popping right here. As we're live, 119,000. I mean, come on, man. This is Bitcoin cycle. This is why I wear the Bitcoin pendant around the neck, y'all. This is Bitcoin cycle. Matt wants me to freestyle. Looks like I got 5 out of 5 on the chat here. On the super chats. We got one person paying for everybody for me to freestyle. I appreciate that, man. If anybody else want to jump in the super chat, give me one of the super chat. And I got to find a beat and freestyle about this shit. I didn't even know we was going to hit it today. All right, you want to get some. And just so you guys know, I don't have a weekly recap rap plan. I got to tell you this. Only for my folks here. Only for my wave makers, all right? So just so you guys know. So basically, I have a new music video that's in the cut. It's in my pocket, waiting to be released. It's my all-time favorite music video I've ever made about crypto or trading investing. And I can't release it yet. And it's almost, I don't say it's killing me, but like I gotta wait for the right time. Right now is a Bitcoin bestie time. Right now we popping right now. It tells a different story in that song. So some people who heard the song, it's called Crashing Waves. The music video is hot, and I'm not releasing it yet. I'm gonna have to tell you when. I was gonna release it today, but then this market went shot off, so I can't even do it. You know. All right, he said all set. Said let's get some. All right, I gotta find a beat. I gotta turn up the beat of my headphones and shit here. All right, let's see what we got. Let me turn on this. And then I got to get in and show Phemex copy trading. Let me say some other stuff. The scalping strategy. We got to go over how we do the scalping strategy. What else I got down here? There's bot trading on Phemex as well, if you guys like bots. And then just in mindset, someone in the private group said something about the mindset. So we want to say something about that. Oh, slippage. We were talking about slippage. Not everybody knows how slippage works. And it's actually very important to know how slippage works. Andrew in the house, what's popping, Andrew? So we do want to talk about slippage as well. So we're gonna come back to some of that stuff. Now I gotta find a beat to freestyle to. Let's see, should I freestyle on the Bitcoin bestie beat? I got it already playing in the background, you feel me? Yeah. This was the beat though, man. Bestie, you gotta love it. All right. Make sure it's at the beginning of the show. Let's get it. All right, check it out. Look, I might have to put on the glasses, you feel me? I'm a Bitcoin bestie. Let's see. Look, I step out the shower freshly. I'm doing anything she lets me. Now let's see. We rocking on the beat all day and night. I'm taking flight, looking at the charts and shit. Really shouldn't start to spit. To come up, we starting it. We getting it. We going long. Everybody flexing strong. Do it all day long. You know it's rocking with the song. Look, the beat is kind of slow. I guess that's why I rap fast on the original. But I got a tap bag. You know that I'm getting though. Every time we leverage trading, everybody hating, but they patiently waiting to see who's gonna take off. Yo, who's straight blasting off? You know I'm getting my cash and all. You know you ain't no smashing, dog. Like, look, what the hell is going on? Pulling up the charts while you see a player flowing on. Trying not to cuss on the live stream. You know I gotta keep it clean, but came to do my thing every time I ring blings. And you know I'm the king of the short and all the shit coins. That's what I do best. Came to get paid, boy. Look, private group, the wave makers keep it popping, cause you know it ain't no stopping. Everybody in the crew is rocking. Look, people talking, but they really ain't stressing me. Every single day I giving y'all all the best of me. Now look, we got all set in the chat, and Edom too, Matt and Frenzy, Andrew Drew from Canada. Who you think you messing with? We some international players. Cause everything that I say is do this shit all day. It's just really nothing on the charts from the moment that I wake up. I gotta get my cake up. Call my girl, I gotta break up. Money, yeah, I make up. I tell you every day I do it. You know I'm spraying fluid. You know I'm staying true with always on the charts and shit. This is what I do, man. Right before I go to bed, I must save a few grand. Then I'm wake up in the morning, put it on a tray. Yeah, I'm living my life in my bed. Shit's like I got it made. Gotta get camera ready just for the live stream to come up with Cassius Cuvée. I'm doing my thing. Look, everybody know I came to get the flow, but I wanna get the dough and spread it for my folks, you know? Look, gotta bring it back again. You know what was happening? Do my shit when I get it cracking like I'm crack-a-lacking. Bitch, you ain't never in the game for real. Yo, though, this beat is kinda slow. I think it's time to chill for real. Yeah. You a Bitcoin bestie, you gotta love it. We back in this thing. Back on the charts, y'all. Right on, right. Hey, shout out to the super chatters out there, making your boy Cassius Cuvée freestyle in the middle of the show. We gotta do it. Yeah, buddy, this is the blockchain cowboy. All right, so man, yeah, Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. That's worthy of a freestyle anyways, you feel me? You gotta love it. Man, okay, I want to talk about slippage real quick. This is actually important. This is something you guys need to know. I kind of want to do it on, I want to do a trade, a real trade, so I can show you maybe. But slippage kind of comes in the form of a couple of things. Let me do it on like some shit coin. Let me do it on another account. Do I have any money in this other account? I'll just do it on this account right now. Let me pick a coin. I need some shit coin. Am I in Alice? I'm in Alice. I need some shit coin that I don't have a trade open in real quick. Let me find some. I'm in too many of them. I need something that's just low liquidity because I want to. You get a better example of it in low liquidity. Am I in Algorand right now? I could do it on Algorand. I'm not in Algorand. Let me go. Oh, you guys can't. I'm not on my screen here. Let me pull up. I'm gonna show you. Let me go to Phemex. So here's Phemex, right? So slippage is it's like a secret tax that you might be getting taxed. Okay. So let's say Algorand, right? So here's Algorand, right? And I'm just picking that because it kind of is low liquidity, and so. We're looking at the, let's put on the 1 minute chart, okay? So slippage is the difference. So here's the order book right here. And you're gonna see a small difference here. You're seeing, so the green are the buys that are in the order book and the red are the sells. Slippage occurs when you do a market order. Up here on the right, you have market order. This is your leverage. Always, by the way, have everything on isolation. I almost have no reason to ever put it on cross. Cross is the default though. So you got to make sure that it says isolation, okay? Because this is what keeps it so that the money you put on this trade for leverage is only for this trade. You'll get liquidated if you run out of money, but only the money on this trade. Whereas you run on cross, it's your whole entire bankroll. So, you fall asleep or the internet goes out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you won't get stopped out because of that one position, but your whole entire bankroll, if some crazy squeeze or something happens. So always have it on isolation. Then you go here, it's got these, 10x. We'll just keep it at 10x, right? It's fine. Right here, this is the position size. So this is not my margin. This is so $100 is only going to be $10 approximately. You see down here? But here's the thing. The slippage is not only the gap between the bid and the ask, which we call the spread, it's also how much you buy. So like if I do a limit order, you won't get slippage because it's only like if I said I wanted to sell it right here at one of these numbers, you can just click actually the number and it'll pop up here. You see it just changes. It'll make $100 worth only go, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'll do, just for the sake of this video, I'll do like, I'll make it a big position even. 5,000, we'll say, right? So if 5,000, which would cost me $500, okay? Because I'm on 10x leverage. What happens is, in matter of fact, I can even make it less money for me if I wanted to go 20x. It doesn't matter. So basically, if you're on limit, it'll only get this price. So maybe not all 5,000 will go in one fill, because the fills, you can see your fills down here, and it'll take a few hits because maybe there wasn't enough buyers, you know what I'm saying, or sellers, or whatever it is, whatever direction you're going in, and so you might feel like $1,000 worth and $2,000 worth, and then a little bit more, right? But if you did market order, it would buy everything immediately. So I might look at this and I'm going to say, okay, 0.2646 is what I want to do a market order on for $5,000. But what's going to happen is your average buy is not going to be 2646. So let's just do it one time, right? I'm going to short it. We'll say if I click open short, remember we're at 2646, and I'll do it $5,000 worth. Boom. What did my fill? So we were at 2646, 2641. Can you see down here? Algorand 2641. So the slippage was that difference because I bought some of the, let's see if it showed up in the fills. I mean, 5,000 not that much money. Okay, you can see in the fills how many fills it took to get there. You see what I'm saying? So these all happened like instantly, but there was a bunch of different fills that happened at once. And it'll see the price. Let me get closer so I can look at it. So the execution price, you see this was here? So it started down here, right? The first fill started here, right? So yeah, it was 2641. Can you see this? 2641. It was a few of them were 2641s, a few of them were 2643s, 42s and 43s, and then all the way up to 2646. So if I had done $10,000 worth, then it would have been even more going up, and I would have been, my average price wouldn't be as good. You see what I'm saying? So that's slippage. You're not, because it bought all of these when I did it, when I shorted them. It took whatever was available in the order book. So you see why my average was not 2646. You see what I'm saying? It was 2641. It wasn't as good. And then there's a little bit of fees on there as well. So that's what I wanted to show you guys with slippage. This matters when you're doing big positions, and it also matters more so what ticker you're on, right? If I did $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, you basically have no slippage. But on a lot of these altcoins that I'm doing, you run the risk of having more slippage. So that is also one of the reasons why I like to diversify, because if I did, let's just, for sake of argument, if I have $20,000 spread across, it's not even 20,000 of margin, let's call it 20,000 of worth of money, right? Which if it was 10x, that'd be just 2,000, right? But it would still be $20,000. This is still $5,000 worth of Algorand that was purchased, right? So if you spread that across a few tickers, then you're only, the slippage isn't hella bad all on one ticker if you just put a $20,000 buy right on all Algorand, because they're kind of spaced out. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why I diversify, besides the fact that, altcoins can be erratic. But it's good to know. It's important to know, because if you're a big dog, you're jumping in there, some people come in, they're like, I want to put 100 grand on something. You're probably going to want, especially, so think about this. If you got 100 grand that you want to put on a trade, and then you're doing 10x leverage, that's $1 million, right? You don't want to do $1 million trade on Algorand in market order. Do you understand? You're gonna lose hella money. If we did $1 million right here, that would be hella slippage. Imagine slippage on only $5,000, right? So you don't want to do that. If you want to trade $1 million, then you do want to put in, you want to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum or something with a lot of liquidity. Okay, I got to warn you guys of that. Which is also why it was taking me a while to kind of get the hang of the copy trading, because I have to figure out. So we'll talk about this now too. So copy trading on Phemex, right? So let me hide the breakout code real quick. Phemex is where I do my leverage trading. This is Phemex that we're looking at, right? So there's copy trading. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up for you guys. I have it ready here to show you what it looks like. There's a link in the description of this video. Copy trading here on Phemex, right? I just started here with Cassius Cuvée. You can see I just only did a couple trades, kind of example. I'm going to make a little video showing how to do it, but it's so easy. All you do is click the link. It takes you here, right? I share the link right here. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can put this in the chat. They're going to let me do links in the chat if it's my show. Yeah. All right, I put the link in the chat. But basically, this just shows you, right? Just starting with a smaller amount, it's 10,000. And ROI, that kind of stuff. It shows you on the charts here what it is. You can see all my stats. These are all the pairs. So this is the other reason why I like Phemex too. There's a lot of trading pairs on here with Phemex. So basically, I can trade a whole bunch of shitcoins on Phemex. But I have to be careful because, so I only have 10 grand in here, but if somebody wants to put in 100 grand, they're going to be copying whatever percentage of my account that I use. So like 100% would be, hold on, let me get out of this Algorand trade because I'm losing. Hold on 1 second. I should have went long. I'm down $62. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mark it out, right? So let's see, look, 2676, right? I mark it out. I'm like, I fucked up, right? I got out of the trade, right? 2676. Let's see what the fills are. Where are the fills? So my fills were 2675, 2676, 2677, 2678. So you see I got gypped, if you will, right? I got charged a little bit more for some, and then they show you how much was each one, right? So that's all right. It just shows you an example of how much I lost on that one. You feel me? So it just goes to show that slippage can affect you even on only $5,000 if it's a smaller ticker. So now real quick, back to the copy trading. So on the copy trading though, the way it works is like, so I have roughly $10,000 in there, right? And just 10,000 is actually a better number because it's even money. Okay. So for 10,000, let's say I want to put $1,000 on a trade. That's 10% of my money. that I'm putting on a trade. Because I'm probably not going to be using the whole 10,000 in any one trade. I don't like to do that. I like to kind of have my bankroll and bat singles. So I'll probably put 1,000, 2,000. Maybe it will if I'm scalping. Maybe I'll do the whole. Maybe I'll do 5,000 of it or something in and out real quick. Maybe I could do the whole 10,000. I don't know yet. But the point is, it's 10%. If I use $1,000, it's 10% of my bankroll. So if someone is copy trading me with $100 grand, 10% of their bankroll is putting 10,000 on the same exact trade that I'm putting it on. Does that make sense in the trap? So when you click this link and you say, I want to copy trade this guy, all that happens, you can follow me and stuff up there too. First, you just follow me. You don't have to put in the money yet. But what happens is you go in there. All they're going to ask you is, how much do you want to deposit? And it's minimum is $99, okay? Because that's how much my private group costs. And I'm saying, instead of giving me the $99, you create your Phemex account, put the $99 into your Phemex account and trade with it, okay? That's why I put $99 as the minimum. But people can have up to, I don't know, millions of dollars in there. And so if they put in 100 grand, their trade's going to be $10,000 on that one. That would be only one. When I put in 1,000, it's only 10%, right? So my 10% of my account is your 10%, but it's not how much money's in your whole entire Phemex account. It's just however much money you allocated to copy Cassius. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. It's really the only decision you have to make, because I have on everything synced. So whatever I do, it automatically does for whoever's copying me. So you don't have anything else to do except how much money you want to put in to copy me. And then 10% of my bankroll is 10% of your bankroll. That's basically how that works. I had to show you guys that, because it's really the only rule you need to worry about. Okay? So anyways, that's that. This is the come up. I'm going to remind you one time for the one time. So we're back here now. I'm in Breakout Prop and some shorts. They're not looking so great right now. I'm afraid to look here. Let's take a quick look. I'm not getting killed too bad. Down like 600. Let me pull up Breakout Prop. So Breakout Prop, remember, Breakout Prop is where I got real quick. Breakout Prop is where you can get 100 grand to trade with for about $800, okay? And that would be this one here on the right where it says 100 grand, you get 10 entries on Breakout Prop. So that's the count. I always use the biggest one, 100 grand. And then and if you pass the evaluation, you can get funding. They give you 100 grand to trade with, okay? I like to actually have my Breakout Prop open with TradingView below it, okay? So anyways, these shorts ain't looking so good right now, but that's all right. This is my real account though. So basically what we're doing here is I'm trying to call a top here, and it could still turn around. I'm not actually too nervous yet. I got to survive till Monday and see if there's a red day or not. I mean, if not, whatever, you get stopped. It is what it is. But basically the way it works is, for Breakout Prop, is you got to make 10% before you lose 6%, okay? Or before you lose 4% in a single day. So on Breakout Prop, basically, if you pass the evaluation, they're going to fund you with whatever amount you purchase. So if I purchase a $100,000 valuation for $800, then I got to pass the evaluation, and then you literally have $100,000 to trade with, and you don't spend any more money. All your money has been spent already, okay? It was spent on the front end when you purchased the evaluation. So there's no additional risk other than what you already spent, which you don't get that back from the evaluation. But after you pass the evaluation, you got 100 grand to trade with, and every single time you make profit, you can withdraw every day. And not all prop firms are created equal. They're not all fair like that, where you can withdraw your money all the time. So that's why I like Breakout Prop. You can take as much time as you want to pass the evaluation. There's no rules like you got to trade 5 times a month or anything like that. Take as much time as you want. And so that way you can just wait for your perfect setups, and you got a larger bankroll to go in and do it. Your downside risk is predetermined, pre-calculated as far as real dollars. If you fail the evaluation, you get what's called being breached, and you kicked out, you can just go buy another evaluation. And make sure you use my discount code, because you save a little bit of money when you purchase it, okay? GGRF7W, put it right at checkout. So that's what the point of Breakout Prop is you know what your risk is up front. The downside is they don't have as many tickers as Phemex. Phemex is a ton of tickers, but Breakout does have some tickers though. They got a lot. So if you know, there's a lot of altcoins on here. It's all crypto. There's a lot of altcoins on here still. You know what I'm saying? Pepe, all kind of stuff still on here. Tron. You know what I mean? Not just Bitcoin. Now, the other thing I have to call out is on Breakout Prop is Bitcoin and Ethereum have 5x leverage built in. This is very important because it means that your position moves 5 times faster than you're used to seeing. On Phemex, you get to determine your own leverage. You get to set it to be 5, 10, up to 50 or 100, whatever it is on that one ticker. Breakout Prop, you don't adjust leverage. It's like an American company, so it's like everything. You don't need a VPN or anything to access it. but like they're all on the up and up. And so like, I guess the rules in America is you can't have leverage or something like that. So basically you just have to know that they hardwired in 5x on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 2x on everything else. Trust me when I tell you that matters, because normally you're like, oh, I put $5,000 on this trade. It's going to move twice as fast if it's an altcoin, but it doesn't, you don't see it like on the charts. You just see it in your bankroll. Instead of being up 1,000, you'll be up 2,000. But instead of being down 1,000, you'll be down 2,000. So it takes a little getting used to. So on Breakout Prop, I like to say I buy the biggest account, but then pick whatever ticker you want to trade and start small on it and then ramp up. And as you start seeing the volatility, then you start getting a bigger feel for what position size is appropriate for how your style of trading is. Whether you're doing a 1-to-2 ratio, 1-to-3 ratio, 1-to-4 ratio, whatever the case may be, and or scalping where you're just getting in and out, you want to see that volatility. You want to have an appropriate size position. So that way, like some people like to use the whole bankroll. I want to use my whole 100K, and if it goes in my direction, great. But if you don't, one false move, and it, boom, it's going to get you twice as fast on altcoin or 5 times as fast on Bitcoin. The upside is, if you're one of those traders who are like, look, man, I'm a G. You know what I'm saying? I know that this is going to go to the moon. I know Bitcoin. I'm just loading up right here. We're at the bottom. If you were to put all $100,000 on, let me look you in the face when I say this. If you're going to put all $100,000 of your position in Breakout Prop on Bitcoin, that's like saying you have a $500,000 position that you got access to for $800. You're not going to really find that anywhere else that I know of. You get what I'm saying? And it's like less than 800 when you use my discount code. So if you're like, man, when Bitcoin hit 75K, you know what I mean? I bought the dip on that. I bought it in Phemex and I did whatever X leverage I did on it, 60X leverage or something. I can't remember what it was. I was like, man, this is the bottom, right? Actually, it was when the second time it had a little retracement back to 75K again. I went all in. I had a good size position though. And then boom, it shot up. Someone caught that, or a crypto face was down there. Some people caught that more. They made so much money, and they were using 80, 90% of that 100K. You know what I mean? And then boom, you can make a lot of money off $800. Okay, so that's the upside opportunity. And the way it works on the back end is on once you do your winnings, every time you withdraw, and you can withdraw every day, they take 10 or 20%. This is also one of the more important things, is that they take 20% by default, but there's a box you can check on the front end that it says you get to keep an extra 10%. And so they only take 10% out on the back end. I always check that box. With my discount code, it kind of makes it a wash anyways. So it's like, I want to check that box because I want that extra 10% on the back end. On the front end, it only cost me another $80. But on the back end, that'd be another $800. You get what I'm saying? So for me, if I believe in myself, I'm checking that box on the front end because I want to make an extra 10% on the back end every single time I withdraw. And that's how Breakout Prop makes their money, is they will take a percentage of your winnings. In this case, if you check that box, it'd be 10%. So again, this is the Breakout Prop promotion. They never do these things. Only 3 days left. That's why I'm kind of making sure I drive this home. My promotions at the 16th is Breakout Prop and Cassius Cuvée. They really don't do these things a lot. So now's your chance. If you never tried Breakout Prop, it's so easy. Again, you don't need a VPN or anything to sign up. You do have to KYC. It's all on up and up. But this is it right here. It's just breakoutprop.com. You can create an account for free once you go on there, read everything. And then when you go to trade, you purchase the evaluation, put in my discount code. And that's basically how it works. I also have a video. I do want to show you this. I have a video on YouTube that explains it in a little more detail and a little more systematic order than I just did right now. It's this video here, how I got 100K on a breakout account. So watch this one. Down a minute with your boy Cassius Cuvée. This video, I explain it in more details. So look on my YouTube channel. And by the way, everybody out there paying attention, I appreciate if you like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and all that stuff. I always forget to say like and subscribe. Not financial advice, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you can like the video, not just in the chat, but I'm saying outside the video, appreciate that. Now, we definitely got a request for scalping. So let's look at the scalping strategy because honestly, you guys, I'm going to keep it real with you. I've been live streaming for a few months now, whatever. And I kind of got away from scalping because I was kind of doing the live stream and I'd like to have some stuff on the chart to show you guys that it's like a trade I'm in right now. But honestly, scalping is my bread and butter. And I'm probably going to get back to that. I got some Giga Shorts open. Whatever happens with those, happens with those. I'm already, I Giga Shorted way back. I'll show you. I Giga Shorted way back in January. Okay. Look at that TUI chart. So I got stuff from like way up here. Phemex Giga Short way up here on some of these. So I'm not even really tripping. Those are my original Giga Shorts. Way up here on some of this. This is February 2024, right? Or wherever I got in some of these, right? So that's why I'm not really sweating it. But then I started another Giga Short. Another Giga Short in meme. One of these lines is when I entered it. It was on my old Phemex account, and now I got the new Phemex account. So like, I'm probably not going to be holding a bunch of positions long term. I want to get into the scalping. So anyways, let's get into the scalping strategy real quick, okay? I got to go over this. So it starts with the 1 hour. First things first, you kind of look at the environment, like I said earlier, right? Bitcoin is bullish, clearly. This is the 1 hour chart, clearly bullish, but we could look at, what do you want to look at? The daily chart. I mean, clearly this is bullish. So this requires market cipher B, these momentum waves down here, right? This is the scalping strategy, okay? So I'm looking at the general thesis, okay? Generally speaking, clearly we're bullish since Sunday, since last Sunday, right? Since this green dot down here on the daily. You might want to take a look at, I like to look at the 8 hour. What's going on here? We did have a red dot here, but here's another thing too. It's kind of like a divergence, right? This wave's going down. Even when it got to, like, say it was going flat, this is real, y'all. Matt, I know some other people have noticed as well. I'm gonna get to the details, frenzy, on scalping here 1 second. But first you got to evaluate the environment. So I'm like, okay, look, price is moving sideways. An 8 hour dot is a deep one. It's an important one, but this is going down kind of slowly, kind of flat. And then price starts going up. I'm telling you, these flat ass waves is not the reversal. It's like another boom pump is coming. I've seen it so many times at almost every time frame, especially these higher ones, 8 hour, 12 hour, 4 hour. So first, I'm kind of looking at, okay, we're looking at kind of bullish right now, right? So if I was going to start scalping, I'd say, okay, I have to have a bullish bias. So first thing I do is I go into the 1 hour. We're right at a tough time period, to be honest with you guys. I wouldn't start scalping right here, right now, okay? But the general theory is that I'm looking at the 1 hour and I would want to see whatever color dot like, honestly, this is a tough one right now. I wouldn't even want to start right now, but I would be to the letter of the law of the strategy. The 1 hour dot says we're bearish. Okay. Again, I kind of would want to see a little more. It would be nice to have a little more backup here. Come on, 4 hour. If the 4 hour was turning, but maybe it is. Maybe it is, right? We got a red candle coming. Maybe it is. It's just maybe it is, right? This could be a bearish divergence of forming higher high, lower low. If we get a red dot here, so that we could be bearish. So let's just say fine. We say we're bearish, okay? But on the 1 hour chart is where the scalping strategy starts. First things first, we got a red dot here on the 1 hour. Now I zoom into the 10 minute. And basically on the next 10-minute red dot is where I'd enter my short, because now we're bearish, right? So let me get this a little bit more, right? So the point is, I'm trying to trade with the trend. I'm not trying to call a top for the scalping. The trend is on the 1 hour, because we looked at it here. It was red. Come on, I'm going slow. It was red going down here. So now I zoom into 10 minutes. So now here's the thing, you got to wait a little bit. There's going to be a retracement. So this 10 minute is going to go like this. The 10 minute wave is going to go like this, and then it's going to come back up. And then when it turns red again, that's where I'm entering the short, okay? So I don't know exactly what price action is going to do, but I don't really care as long as we have still a red dot on the 1 hour. God, it's taking me so long. So this red dot, as long as this red dot is on the 1 hour, I'm have a bearish bias, okay, frenzy? That's how this starts, right? So boom. Now I just have to, basically you're selling the rip. As you normally say, buy the dip. If it was long, in this case, we're going short, so we're selling the rip. So I'm looking for the next time this comes, and it's going to go like this, and then this will follow that. This, on a 10 minute, this is going to follow pretty clearly, meaning that we started the trend to the down again on the, as far as the 10 minute wave is concerned. That's where I enter my short, okay? And so I want to make sure that we still have a red dot showing on the 1 hour, okay? Yeah, it could be a nice scalp. Yeah, Matt's saying it could be a nice scalp for short for right now. It possibly could be. So, but I won't enter it here. I'll wait to the next one because I want to catch the top of this. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Hopefully, right? If this was the strategy, I have a bearish bias. This is going to come when it comes back up and then starts to roll over. I'm going to see the next red dot. Hopefully, it's lower than this red dot. You know what I'm saying? So we know that the downward trend is still there. Boom, we enter the short, and we just ride it down. Well, I guess it would look like this, right? We've discussed, and then we ride it down, and essentially, we would keep riding it down until that red dot on the 1 hour turned green. So we would just keep selling a rip. We would keep doing one of these. You know what I mean? Nothing comes in a straight ride. But what ends up happening is, and then you get out. So you get out as soon as you see a green dot on the 10 minute. Don't fight this 10 minute green dot if you're going short. And this is why. What happens is, one green dot maybe won't kill you. If you got in, got out, but you miss when these boom, you see this big one hit you, you can get out quick before something catastrophic happens. And the whole time, it's almost like heads you win, tails you break even. If you're if you get a double dot like this, sure, you might have got, but again, this would have been a bullish time period, so you wouldn't even want to do that, right? Because the 1 hour would have been on a green dot at that point in time, right? We would have been going up, so we wouldn't even be shorting there. We'd be going long. But the point is, if you get out before the red dot turns green again, or right when the red dot turns green, sure, you might give back a little bit because he's got to give back a little bit for it to turn green. You get the hell out before some epic pump happens and all of a sudden Bitcoin wants to go to the moon, right? And again, I wouldn't even necessarily do it on Bitcoin because you get a little more volatility on some other shittier coin, right? So let's say Flocky's trying to go down. Let me get like what I'm going to do is see, I like to look through and see, and I'll put this sometimes in the chat as well. Excuse me, the Discord. I have a channel for a ticker. It's good to scalp. I don't do it every day. Maybe I will do it more now that I'm going to be scalping more. But if you request it, anybody requested in the general chat, say, hey, what's good for scalping? I'll take a look because I'm going to go through these and I'm going to kind of see what's giving me a lot of proper. The problem is I feel like we're kind of reaching a little top right here. It would have been nice to catch it on the way up here. A lot of these looking like a reversal. But what I'm looking for is something that giving you a little volatility like this, so you can get in and get out, right? Like APT might have been a good one. This was a good one I used to scalp, where you're buying these dips down here, and then you're exiting on this pop right here on this red candle, and then you'd buy it again down here, and then you're exiting because we were in an upward momentum, and it was just like buying it. But what happens is what I'm trying to get at is this. It's small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses. You're not even really going to take that big of losses because you wouldn't be getting in until the momentum is going in your favor. And then if you got out, it would only be like the trading fees or whatever. You'd only take a small loss. And then what happens is, boom, you catch one of these down here. And then all of a sudden, boom, you rode this all the way up. Perfect drawing here, but you rode it all the way up to this peak. You see what I'm saying? To here. Or I guess it would be this first one here. And you would get out. And that's a big win if you're like in Breakout Prop or you're using a lot of leverage in Phemex. These little wins, that's like annoying. I'm getting in, getting out. It's like, what the hell? But you saved yourself from this drop by getting out on this candle here. Boom, you got back in here, and it was green that whole 10-minute wave up here. Boom, that made up for all this little sideways bullshit. Boom. That could be a quick $1,000, $10,000, whatever, however much money you're using, you know? And then you got out, protect yourself from here, turn green. Boom, you caught this next one up. You see what I'm saying? And you're not going to catch the perfect bottom or the perfect top, but what happens is you're incrementally batting singles going up, and then every once in a while you're switching back over to the 1 hour, and you're like, oh, this run is over now, you know. So then you wouldn't be doing it bullish here. You might be going bearish here, and then back bullish again here on this green dot. So it's basically a 1 hour, and then with the 10-minute, the 1 hour determines first what, you know. I have a bearish bias when this 1 hour came. So yeah, we'll check it on APT, right? So when this happened, boom, I would have had a bearish bias. I would have zoomed in on the 10-minute. Let me go back to that exact time real quick. It was 1 hour at 9 a.m. And then on the 10-minute, where's 9 a.m.? I got to find 9 a.m. was here. 9 a.m. was here. So 9 a.m. was here. And then what happened was this turned green. We weren't going to get in. Then boom, we would have shorted on this red dot. In which case, okay, so look, we would have shorted on this red dot right here. We would have rode it down to like here. We would have got in this green. We would have got out on this green dot. So then when this pump came, because you don't know how big the reason why you get out on this green dot is you don't know how big this freaking pump is going to be. What if this pump went all the way up to here and you'd be like, oh shit, just get the hell out. And if it turns right back red again, or sometimes the dot will disappear, I'm not waiting for it to print. I'm doing this as soon as it prints. So just to be clear, it's not printed until the 10 minutes are over. It's printing, not printed, when it's just showing, okay? So, but as soon as it shows, I'm getting the hell out. I don't care if I'm down a little bit or I'm up and it gave back some of my just get out. It's better to be safe because this might blow up in your face, right? So in which case you'd be green because you would have made this little bit from here to here. And then it came up, you weren't in it, and then you got this red dot here, right? This red dot here. You got in, boom, okay, you made a little bit of money, not a lot. You got out as soon as you saw this green dot, but then this wick came up, it came down somewhere here. You would have got in, and boom, you'd be green right now waiting for, ain't no telling how far this goes. And we wouldn't get out until we saw another green dot down here. Over time, those rack up. You might be like, okay, I made $100. It's like I lost $30. You know, whatever's the spread of that slippage we talked about. You know what I'm saying? You're in and out. But the main thing is you're not getting whacked in the face. And, I want to ask the chat this too, actually. Okay? I know we got some real experienced traders in here. You guys been in the game for a minute now, right? Don't you notice that whenever you take a big loss, it's never death by 1,000 cuts. This is for me at least, okay? Anytime I take a big loss, it's because I didn't follow the strategy. I did something stupid. You try to average down, or you're like, oh, it's gonna reverse. Something that wasn't part of the strategy, and that's when you got fucking smacked. And so I've never like blown up my whole bankroll by death of 1,000 cuts. I've never gotten stopped on some little stop or gotten out as soon as this green dot came and lost, I lost some money on my trading fees. It's never added up to be like a 50% of my bankroll or some crap. But not anytime, but there's been certain times in my career where like I try to hold something too long, or I try to fight the momentum, or I think it is going to reverse, or I average down or do some shit. That's when you take a big boom, 10% of your bankroll, 20% of your bankroll. You're like, oh my God, what the hell did I do? And we've all done it at least once, right? You held something too long that you thought was going to reverse. Or even worse, you average down or double down or something. That's when you get smacked. Otherwise, these little bullshit tidbits, these little things that come around, they've never ruined my bank account. It's never happened once. And so that's why I'm like, the death of 1,000 cuts doesn't actually happen in trading. It's you get axed to the neck is when the real bad ones happen. And so that's why it might be annoying. And so when you guys are copy trading me, for example, I want to do more of the scalping on the copy trading. Don't freak out if it goes a little bit red, right? Don't freak out if it goes a little bit red, right? This is only up 5% or whatever right now. And just so you know, this is 5% of what I've traded. I didn't put a lot of money on it. I was just kind of getting a little something in the game, right? Obviously, that's not $20, not 5% of 10,000, but that's because I didn't use all the money, okay? But the point is, the death by 1,000 cuts doesn't really happen. You're like, oh, I'm losing money on trading fees, or I'm getting, the slippage is killing me, or whatever, or oh man, I'm taking these small little losses and they keep adding up, and the spread is killing me. If you're trading with the trend, good things will happen. You'll get a bunch of these little ones down here that are gonna annoy the shit out of you. We'd be like, oh, I got in and out or whatever, and you didn't make much money. Maybe you only made $50, or it was about break even after fees and shit. But then what happens is you catch the one. If you're trading with the trend, you end up catching that big one. All while this one dot is doing what you want, like this one here, right? All while this dot is doing what you wanted it to do. You're trading with the trend, and boom, that big one is like $1,000. It makes up for all of those little $50 here and there, or my win was only $50, so because I had to get out because I saw a green dot come too early, right? Like these ones, you're in and out. But then boom, even there's this little red one here from here to here. That might have equaled $1,000, just that little one. And boom, that was significantly made up for all those little losses and then some. And then you just bat those singles. And then all of a sudden, you look down and you're green on the day. I'm telling you, when I was doing Breakout Prop, I have a $100,000 account. I probably was only using 15, 20,000 of it, like not even much of it. And I was making, doing like 1,000 a day. And I wasn't doing as much content creation then, you guys. I gotta admit. Content creation is very time consuming. It's more than you might think. So that's why I appreciate the super chats, and I appreciate you guys liking and sharing and shit. Like I really do put a lot of time. I'm even behind on all the videos I want to make. I want to make a video on how to do copy trading. But basically, I wasn't doing shit. But staring at these charts for 16 hours a day, I was locked in. Remember in Limitless, he got the shit floating around above his head and shit? That's how I felt, man. I was just reading the charts. Boom, catching tops and bottoms, just scalping. Oh, man, that one went against me. But by the end of the day, every day was a little bit green. And I was probably making $1,500 a day, be $2,300, $400. I almost had no, because one day I remember I had 7 green days in a row. Like I didn't even have any red days, right? Or I would go down $100. Like shit, I'm down $200 down this little bullshit. But then just keep trading with the trend, and then boom, you catch one. And all of a sudden I was an $800 win. And I'm saying these are in and out of these, a few hours. Like it doesn't take that long, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Frenzy wants to talk about the breakout prop. So, how did I pass the breakout prop? Okay, I actually have a video on it, Frenzy, on one of the times when I did it. There's more than one way, man. It's whatever strategy you want. But the key is, this is gonna sound kind of crazy. The key to winning and trading long term is just to avoid losing. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but like, if you watch your bankroll management so you never take that big punch to the face, which is why I like the scalping strategy, because I'm always getting out before getting smacked hella hard. If you don't lose and you keep trading with the trend, you can eventually win. Not financial advice. I'm telling you my experience though. Just don't take the big hit. Those little ones, I've never gotten like breached because I got trading fees or whatever, like added up, and all of a sudden I was negative $4,000 in a day. That ain't never happened. The only time I got breached is when I was like, oh man, it's gonna reverse, let me double down, or some stupid shit like that. You get what I'm saying? It's always cutting those losses so quick that you never take the big hit. And I'll have my finger on the trigger. You know what I'm saying? On the trigger. And I'm like, I'm sitting there watching. And I'm not being distracted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, as soon as I see those, and I'm watching the 1 minute chart, just so you guys know, let me pull up Breakout Prop again, right? So this is how I have my setup, okay? So friends, this is exactly how I have my setup. When I had 2 computer screens, I had one above it, one below, because I had a laptop down here, and I had the bigger screen here. Right now, I've got a screen on the left and the right. But essentially, I would have Trading View below me, which is where I'm looking at the momentum waves, this stuff down here. And then I'd have Breakout Prop above me on the 1 minute chart. So I'm basically looking at the 10 minute, but I'll zoom in on the 5 minute and shit to see, okay, what, you know, even the 1 minute to kind of get a clue. The 1 minute will give you too many false dots. Let me pull it back up here real quick on Trading View. Not Phemex. Trading View only. So the 1 minute will give you too many false dots. So as soon as you enter the trade, right? Like we knew we were on a 10 minute here. Then once I'm in, okay? So once I'm in. So now I would be waiting to see, the cycle already kind of happened here, but I would be zooming in to see when the next, because you're not going to get a 10 minute dot before you get a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5. The lower time frames always come first, right? So once I'm in, I'm gonna zoom all the way in and see for that when was that 1 minute gonna come? The first 1 minute came here. Okay, then I'm zoomed to a 3 minute. Is the 3 minute gonna come, or is it just is that 1 minute gonna roll back over? In this case, it looks like that 1 minute we got another red dot before 3 minute came. Then we got a 1 minute red dot here. Then there would have been a 3 minute green dot would have finally showed up, and I'd be like, okay, are we getting a reversal, or is this 3 minute dot gonna have one more of these where it goes boom boom and come back down? And like, ooh, in this case that didn't happen. Looks like we had a green dot here on the 5 minute, which means, okay, it's coming up, right? Now that we got a green dot on the 5 minute, we know that a green dot on the 10 minute is coming. It comes next, right? And you might zoom in, you might look it down here at some VWAPs coming up. You know, you might even get out early and you might regret it, but like, let's say the green dot flashes, I get out, but then it disappears because price action comes back. You can get back in and you'll be mad you lost that little spread or whatever. It's okay. You didn't lose a lot though, right? Or it gave back some of your profit. You only made $20. You thought you was gonna make $60, whatever, right? Then you come back and say, you know what? Okay, what ticker is this? APT? Shit, I'm already in APT. Let me get a ticker. Let's just do a couple examples. Shit, then I gotta run. I actually have a meeting after this. Let me find a ticker that's in Breakout Prop. They really don't have as many tickers. Am I in dot? I'm in hell. I'm in too many trades, y'all. BCH. Let's take a look at BCH. Probably not the best ticker to trade. I don't like this kind of chop. I like a little more. Let me see if I can find something else here. Tia. Is Tia in Breakout Prop? Let me see. Let me go back to the Breakout Prop list here. Let's take a look at our Breakout Prop list. So I'm going to try to, let's see what's in here. Algorithms here, Atom, AVAX. Let's see. I want to get a little bit of volatility. We were looking at Dogecoin, right? Let's see about Dogecoin real quick. Let's see Doge. Let me do it because I want to do a real example for you guys. I'm just trying to find one with a little bit of volatility. Okay. Let's take a look at Dogecoin real quick. I'm not starting at the right moment though. That's the one downside. I'm not at the right moment. I'm trying to find, I'm on the wrong screen right now. I'm trying to find one where we got a little bit of, see how Dogecoin is right now and the red dot's like, it's like at the end of the play. I don't really want to do it at the end of the play. I want to do it at the beginning of the play. So what I'm looking for right now is something that give me a 10 minute, like about to pop, about to print. Let's see what's the theory. Let me just go down the list real quick. Oops. See, they're all at the end. A lot of stuff trades together. Give me a second. We're going to find something that I can get into. Let me do one of these more bullish tickers. They're the ones that had some play. Is SPX in there? Okay, let's see SPX. Let's see if this one works. I don't know for a fact. SPX. Oh, I will say this too. Oh, let me pull up Breakout Prop so you guys can see. Not this one. This one. Breakout Prop needs to be refreshed. When you have hella windows open, you have hella these charts. Those use up all the memory in your browser. You're gonna have to constantly refresh. It will lag. That's a problem. But I don't really need to have all these open. That's just me because I got too many damn trades open. When scalping, I like to focus on one ticker only. Okay, don't try to get cute like me right now and it ain't working. I wouldn't do it. Oh, SPX is not in here. What about Rune? Is Rune in Breakout Prop? They used to have more tickers. They got rid of them when they got low liquidity. Jesus, it's not in here. Hold on, let me come back to the list. Let me see here. Fartcoin. How about Fartcoin? Let's take a look at Fartcoin real quick. Good old Fartcoin. Fartcoin's pumping right now. Shit. Fartcoin is a pump. Okay, you know what? Let's just pull up Fartcoin real quick because maybe it'll be about to start. Okay. Maybe it'll be about to start, right? So here's Fartcoin, right? So let's see here. Oh, and I'm gonna show you what spread and shit look like too, Frenzy. That was actually a good one too. So let me show you here. I almost want to zoom in to show you guys a little bit more. Let me zoom in on this breakout prop thing so you guys can just see this chart a little bit better. So go ahead, let me zoom in here. All right. Okay, let me move this thing out the way. Okay, so now, okay, so what I'd be doing is I would have it split screen because I want to look at, you know, I gotta shift screens over here. I would have it on 2 different screens though, so I don't have to shift it in and out. So in the 1 hour, it's kind of tough because I'm breaking the rule a little bit here. The 1 hour, if you can see down here, a little bit not great for you to see, but if you can see down here, I would like to have a red dot right here first before I start this short, okay? For the sake of argument, though, I'm going to say there's a red dot right here, okay, guys? And that we want to start shorting, right? So first, I would look here, okay, like we've got a 10-minute red dot. That tells me this is probably not going to work because we need the momentum to roll over. But we're going to do, I don't want to go long right here, though, because we got a red dot in 10 minutes. They're conflicting, right? Right now, I've got a green dot that looks like it wants to roll over on the 1 hour, but I've got a red dot on the 10-minute, which we wouldn't enter right here normally, okay? But I got to run, so I want to give you one example. So Fartcoin, we're going to say we're going to short it, right? So boom, I hit sell. Oh, let me just pull up Breakout Prop real quick. So you hit sell because we're going to short it, right? I hit sell. This comes up. $275, not really that much money. I want to get a little more action going. We'll say $2,600, right? So what you can see here is, let's just enter. All right, we're just going to enter for the sake of entering, right? Boom, we're shorting now, right? I'm looking back now here. I want to see this. We're supposed to be bearish right now. This is really not a perfect example, kind of stupid. But what I'm looking for here, I'm gonna pull up TradingView. Actually, right here, pull up TradingView. I'm looking for, as soon as I'm looking to see if there was a 5-minute green dot, which there was. This is a terrible example. You gotta wait. Honestly, I gotta be honest with you. Patience is the way you make money. You don't just jump into trades, you guys. You gotta wait for your setup. You gotta wait for your moment. I mean, honestly, you know, and that's why this is like boring, right? I gotta sit there and wait, right? But what I'm waiting to see is I want to see that 5-minute, not there yet. Since I didn't pick the right coin. There's not anybody available right now. But basically, if I can get lucky enough for this to roll over, then we could technically start. 1 minute, give me a red dot. This is kind of a bullshit red dot on the 1 minute. What will happen is first, you get a 1 minute on the 1 minute red dot, then you'll get a 3-minute red dot when that comes. Eventually, if it keeps going down, you'll get a 5-minute red dot, and then you'll get a 10-minute red dot, which we already have one, so you won't get 2 in a row. But this would turn green, in which case I'd want to get out. And then we'd re-enter on the next red dot, in which case then I would start shorting. Then, as soon as that happens, I'd be switching back to the red 1 dot, the 1 minute, so I could see when that was going to turn green. Then I could see when this 3 minute was going to turn green, and then 5 minute, and then I'd be like, oh, I got my finger on the trigger and ready to get out. I can't give you a real life example on this one. It just ain't real. Let me close it because it just ain't right. It really is not right. I have to give you a real example because it's just going to be too confusing otherwise. Are you, Frenzy? Are you kind of getting that though a little bit? What the point is, what I'm trying to look at is, you want to trade with the trend, okay? So the first thing first is, what is the 1 hour doing? I need a 1 hour that's with me. The problem is on this one here, I don't want to do it now. I want to do it when this green dot first appeared. I don't want to do it after it made all its gains. You know what I'm saying? Like we're on a hurry up and wait situation right now. That's the one thing. That's why I can't show you it right now. We'd be a hurry up and wait. But you're watching. So what you can do is set alerts on TradingView, right? So what I would do here is I would set an alert. So to set an alert, if you guys don't know this, there's more than one way to do it. You can do it up here, but I would say down here, if you just click this and you create an alert, right? It's going to create a line first, but I can just double click it and then it opens this up. So what I would do is I'm on Fartcoin and I'm on the 1 hour. I don't want to do the one you click is red dot crossing. You want to see how it says blue wave crossing up. That's a green dot. Blue wave crossing down. That's red dot. I want to wait for the next red dot. This one on the 1 hour. Only once I hit save. Now TradingView is going to give me an alert once we get a 1 hour red dot here. So now I can go make a sandwich or whatever the hell I want to do. And then when I get the notification on my phone or whatever, or you just had the sound turned on your computer, you're going to get an alert, and you get an email also if you set it that way. You get an alert right here on the red dot. So now I come back to my computer, I zoom in on the 10-minute, and now I'm waiting for the next red dot because it'll be a green dot first, and then the next red dot, and then that's where you enter the short, and that's when you're doing the scalping strategy all the way down. But the key to not getting breached is to cut your losses quick. That's honestly, I really developed my scalping strategy using Breakout Prop, specifically because they make you trade with the trend, or else you're gonna get breached, right? You can't lose 4,000 a day or 6,000 overall. And so by always cutting my losses, eventually you're gonna pass the evaluation because you've never taken a big hit down to the downside. So like, this is just a number that was a benchmark for myself. I was like, if I can make $1,000 a day, I can pass the evaluation in 10 days. That's how I looked at it. It's like I can sit down and trade for 3 or 4 hours a day, scalping, making hits every time I win. If I win about $250 to $300, $250, $350, $400, $500, I could get to $1,000, $1,500 a day. You do that 10 days in a row, boom, there's your 10,000. And then don't change anything after you do pass the evaluation. Just keep batting singles, and now you can withdraw that 1,000 every single day off of Breakout Prop. So that was kind of my little thing going with Breakout Prop. But Phemex has some other cool things like the copy trading. They got Phemex bots. Oh my God, even getting the trading bots. All you got to do to get into trading bots on Phemex is to just on the phone, you got to find where it's somewhere it says bots on the drop down. I'll make a little video for this. There's somewhere it says bots, like on the drop down here. Let's trading bots right here. So you click on trading bots, and you just see how much money you want to put in on a bot. Get all this stuff out the way, and then futures grid. So I'd like futures grid on trading bot, and then you'd put in the money, how much money you want to put on it. I did it on the phone, to be honest with you. This looks a little bit different. I actually have not done it on here. I have to check it out. But basically, you get to select your ranges and stuff. Let's see down here. I don't know how to do it on here, to be honest with you. On the phone, it's pretty straightforward. On the phone app for Phemex. But that's why I'm kind of 6 on the one hand and half a dozen on the other. Look, not everybody is the same when it comes to trading. And that's the thing. Some people are better at Phemex and some people are better at Breakout Prop. I have a friend, I was like, well, she kept getting breached on Breakout Prop, and then I showed her how to do the scalping strategy in real time. We're on the phone for like 3 hours, or the Zoom for 3 hours, and I was showing her sharing my screen. But boom, that shit hit right when we were on there. I shorted, and that shit went right in my favor. And basically, though, she doesn't want to trade with her own money. She only wants to trade with other people's money, which is what Breakout Prop is. And I understand why, because if you get breached like 10 times or something, you're one of those people who bats home runs. So like, frenzy. I'm not advocating for this, but there is a style that says, look, I need to win twice in a row in order to make money on Breakout Prop. And this is what I mean by twice in a row. You're using your whole 100 grand or 80 grand of, a large percentage of your bankroll, 50 grand, right when you think you've got a big momentum swing coming in your direction. And boom, I've done it before. I had about 50 grand on, I think it's on one of the videos actually I put on my channel, where I had about 50 grand worth of trades on, 40, 50 grand or something. And I caught the top of that cycle, and there's a big waterfall, and I wake up 12 hours later, I hit the 10 grand, And it can happen that fast if you know that you're catching the top of a peak or the bottom of a dip, and you got a big amount. The downside is, you got to make sure you have some stop losses, because if it goes against you, boom, you're going to get breached. So I'm like, okay, well, check this out. If your strategy was to try to hit one home run out of 10 tries, right? You're going to lose $800 times 10. You're going to lose $8,000, we'll call it. But then, boom, you hit that 10 grand, and now you're past the evaluation. Now you've got real money. Now you do the same exact strategy again. Boom. If you can catch it on the next one in a row, now you made 10 grand on that one day, and that made back for the 8,000 you lost, failing 10 times on the evaluation, right? Plus 2 grand. My opinion is that, I don't like that style, swinging for the fences every time. I get it, right? Because you're like, okay, if I can pick my shots and do well, if I get breached 3 or 4 times, 5 times even, I don't care. I lost 5 times 800, but then when I won 10,000. It makes up for it. So that's a different strat. I'm not like that. I rather take my time and take 10 days to pass the evaluation than I would say do that. That being said, when I pass, it doesn't usually take me 10 times. I'm kind of a good opportunist. I watch these damn charts too closely all day long. So I'm hitting usually when I go in big. I'm a little bit early right now, which is why I'm down. I think that we might have a pullback on Monday. At least that's what I'm quote unquote betting on. But it's probably a bad idea, man. We're up here in price discovery, and honestly, I'm cautious, but I'm optimistic. I mean, gosh, the trend couldn't be more bullish right now. So being bearish is not something I can say with confidence. I'm just more of a risk versus reward. A lot of these altcoins have gotten away with their skis, and if the NASDAQ has another red day, it'll be a shock. What a shocker. And then everything would dump, and then all of a sudden, like those trades I'm in would just they would hit. But yeah, we are in pump mode, Matt, as of right now. So, it's hard to say be bearish right now. Trading is always about risk versus reward, not about if I think I'm right or wrong. It's about if I'm wrong, it's this is what I think might happen, but if I'm wrong, I'm cutting my losses here. This is what I think might happen. If I'm right, I'm going to let them run until here. You get what I'm saying? Until here, for me, usually I don't even like to set a take profit. I'm watching the momentum waves. So I'm going to ride that momentum until it stops. I take what the market gives me. And then I get out as soon as everything starts slowing down. I'm I made my move, right? Let's say this chart right here. I'm going to just pull this up, right? Phemex. Let's say I short, this is the 1 minute chart, right? But let's say I happen to catch the top of this Bitcoin. And then boom, 1 minute later, it came down here. I might just take profit right here. I'm look, I was bearish right here for this moment in time, and they gave it to me all in one candle. Give me my money, man. And because otherwise I would have stayed, and I would have been keeping tight butt cheeks when this happened. And yeah, I could have said, I could have got out here instead of here. But sometimes you take what the market gives you, right? The perfect play would be buy it here and sell it here. But nobody makes the perfect play. If the market just gives you exactly what you want hella fast, this, just take the money. Sometimes just take it, right? It took this many minutes to get there, but only 2 minutes to get back. Give me my money, bro. And that's what scalping is about too. It's I'm an opportunist. If an outsized move came in my favor, sometimes just take the money. If it was sitting there staring you in the face, I mean, I'm assuming that this wasn't an instant in time, right? It probably wasn't, because you see this wick came down. It probably went boom, and then it probably went boom a little bit more. And if you got out about right here, maybe when this first came back, something, you didn't catch the perfect top, perfect bottom, but you're I made this move. And then, depending on how much money you got in there, believe it or not, that big move right made $500. You know what I'm saying? And you made it in 5 minutes of waiting, really 2 minutes of trading. So that's really what I would say about that is I take what the market gives me, but the main thing is just don't lose. Cut your losses, you'll eventually win. Honestly, the longer term trading, I'm probably going to stop doing it, you guys. I got a full boat on my Giga Shorts and this other shit, and honestly, it's not even working great for me right now. I would have been better off just taking my profit. That's what I'm saying. I do so much better scalping instead of round tripping. I was man, just give me my money. That's what I think. That's pretty much it for today, y'all. Y'all been great though. Y'all been rocking with me, man. I appreciate super chats, so I gave y'all a little freestyle. I don't even like to freestyle that much because I like to carefully think of my raps. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Chip Muffin in the house. You think she's going 122K? All right, yeah. Drop your predictions for Monday. Drop your predictions. I'm gonna end the poll. Let's end the poll one time. Drop your prediction for Monday, and we'll wrap it up. Ended the poll. What does it say? Where's the poll results? Okay. 85% thinks we will see 120K by Monday. We could see it today, right? Shit. We're about as close as you can get, to be honest with you, right? We're right. We peaked during this show at 119,448. So we're about as close as you can get. Have a great day, Blockchain Cowboy. Everybody, please like, share. Tell everybody to take a watch on this. And remember, I got to call this out because there's only a few days left, so I'm going to keep going back to it. The Breakout Prop giveaway ends on the 16th. And honestly, I don't even know exactly what time it ends on the 16th. It might be at midnight on UTC time or something. So I'm just saying we got 2 more days. If you have never tried purchasing a Breakout Prop, do it now so that we be entered into the contest. Any amount gets you an entry. Obviously, the higher amount gets you the most entries, but this is what happens. I'm going to keep it real with you. People will buy I'll just buy a $10,000 one. And then what happens is you start winning a little bit, and then you're like, man, I need to ramp this up, man. Give me some. And you put the whole 10,000 on because you're sick of winning 10 or 20 bucks. And you're trying to win 100 and 200 and 500 bucks, trying to win big money. And then what happens is it goes against you in one trade and you get breached. Tell it quick. My thing is, give me the $100,000 account, and I'll still trade like it's a $10,000 limit. And then I'm only putting in first 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks, 1,500 bucks, 2,000 bucks, and then it's not 20% of my bankroll. It's only 2% of my bankroll. And then that way you keep them getting breached because then you slowly ramp up on whatever coin you're trading. And then that way you start to get a feel for how much volatility, when it goes against me, how much will it really be? Instead of all of a sudden, I'm going to do $50,000 and all of a sudden, boom, you get breached. So that's why I would say get the biggest one and then you still trade like it's a smaller one. And that way you don't get breached, you start ramping up. So you can take a hit. If I lose $1,000, you'd be breached already, long breached already on a smaller account. But on a $100,000 account, that's not a big deal. So, and then, you get smacked, but you got to get back. You can come back. So that's why I say that. But Breakout Prop, they rarely do these promotions, these giveaways. I thought it was going to be all month at first. And I was like, oh, shit, it's the 16th is when it ends. I better hurry up and start getting it out there a little bit better. So you're going to see me post this on Twitter once a day until there's only a couple more days. But then you get entered into this contest. You see, you get more entries the more you do. And then they told me they're going to give me an email list of whoever wins or whatever, and I will announce the winner. So stay tapped in with me on Twitter. The private Discord group, I can't stress it enough. The wave makers are popping in there, y'all. It ain't just me. It ain't just me. There's very experienced traders in there. We got Blueberry in there. We got Edema. We got other people coming there, and they share trade ideas. And we got some winners in there, man. There's some real winners in there. So even if I'm not trading, or if I'm shorting, or if I'm traveling, or whatever I'm doing differently than what they're doing, you might see other people's ideas. But we mostly post them in the account that is only for the verified members. So that's the one that says like market analysis. We do chatting in the general chat, and sometimes we'll post trade setups and stuff in there for sure. But the good stuff, the alpha, there is a whole channel. I better show you this while we're here. There's a whole channel for quote unquote future trades. And the future trades is where we will literally show entries and exits and shit. So I'll show you that real quick. Because you won't have this unless you verify with your user ID in the chat bot inside of Discord that shows you have created a Phemex account. And again, we do this so that we have real traders in the account and not just a bunch of trolls or people shilling or whatever the hell is going on. We run a pretty clean ship over here. We got helpful news, bold wins. You get to see the wins channel. Where is it? Future trades. So this is what it looks like. So yeah, you see. So look, Blueberry got one, his future trade, and we go up. And then also we sometimes write them out like this. So shorted this token, 10x entry was current market price. Stop loss here, take profit here. So I'm showing you some of these like in real time, and so are some of the other people in here, not just me, right? So that's also an advantage of being a verified member, is that you get access to these other channels, and then that way you can, it's like a clean ship too. It's like it's kind of that's not what I meant to do. This market analysis, it shows more trade setups. You see the people in here. And so that's what's in the other stuff for verified members. So the general chat, yeah, we're in there talking. I posted the show and different stuff. I definitely showed a lot of trade setups I would probably keep for the private side of it. But, there's alpha in here. So I definitely want to encourage people to join the Discord, because it's just a great community. Everyone's helpful. New people ask questions, and we definitely want to help out new people. I talked about slippage in there. That's why I talked about it on the show here, because a lot of people don't understand it. Man, I was training this one guy, and this is a smart guy. And he does a good job of doing baby steps, and he was testing out his theories on some coin stuff. And I was like, and then I'm going to ramp up. I'm going to do 10x or whatever, what I'm doing now. And I said, you got to be careful though, because of slippage. And he was like, slippage, what's that? And I was like, oh my God, like, you're a smart guy, you're learning all this stuff, but he didn't know what slippage was. And sometimes just ignorance, right? He just didn't know. So when I explained it to him, he's like, oh, I'm glad you told me that, because I was about to put $100,000 on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, you can't do that on all coins. You're going to do that, you got to be on a coin with bigger liquidity, or you got to start small and ramp up, because the slippage would kill you if you try to put $100,000 on Algorand or something right all at one time. So especially if you're gonna like try to trade in and out of it, like maybe if you're spot buying, you're like, I'm buying a dip, that little slippage ain't gonna matter, I'm gonna hold this for 6 months or something, that's not gonna bother you that much. But if you're trying to trade in and out or day trade or something, like, slippage will add up on you. So definitely start small on whatever ticker you're on, and just slowly ramp up on it, and you'll start to see how much you're getting gypped on. I call it gypped, but it's part of the game. If you're a winning trader, the fees are not what you're worried about. It's like when people say, I don't want to sell because I don't have to pay taxes. I'm like, look, bruh, if you up hella money, you pay the damn taxes. Like, if you worry about taxes, you're going to fuck up your whole trading strategy. Don't worry about the fees and taxes and all the other stupid shit. You want to win trades. By the end of the year, you'll worry about your taxes and say, man, all my trade system made me make $100,000, $1 million, however much. I'll worry about the taxes then. Right now, because what happens is you end up holding something, and then it drops more than what your taxes would have been in one day or some crap. So that's why I don't worry about trading fees and all that other stuff. You got to win trades. You win the trades, you ain't gonna be worried about the trading fees. All right. So that's that. Okay. Yeah, Matt said big facts on that. Like, don't let that other stuff distract you. And that's what it is too. I know I was going to get into more about mindset, and I'm going to come back to that, but I try to make trading simple. It says that on my YouTube channel, because that's kind of my whole thing, is trying to make trading simple. You're going to see a lot of people with a lot of charts and a lot of stuff. If you're new, all I can say is try not to get overwhelmed. I'm gonna show you, I even say it on here. Like I have it at the top. Trading made simple, trading made easy, because I don't want new folks to get distracted by a million lines on a chart. Oh, if I don't buy these indicators, I won't be able to make money. We got to simplify it. And that's why we discuss some of these things in the private group as well, to kind of help folks out when to enter, when to exit, and general philosophies and theories that we talk about. Like, don't just try to short an all-time high. I did it and I got burned. Just remind myself that my philosophies work. Sometimes you learn by the negative thing happening to you when you stepped outside of the rules and you got whacked. So it's like, man, just stick to the game plan and you'll win. That's it. Let's go small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses. Boom, you catch that big win, and then small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses. And I'm watching those momentum waves, and I'm going to get out as soon as the momentum goes against me. And there's also, we didn't talk about the Heikin-Ashi candles. We'll talk about that next time. They help folks trade with the trend. Blueberry's got a strategy with them. And so, you know, a lot of people use them. I like them. I'm really precise when I'm like day trading, and they're like an average of previous candles. So it's kind of hard for me to use them as a precise measurement of when I should enter. So I use the regular standard candles, but I do like to switch to the Heikin-Ashi just real quick so you can see what they look like on TradingView. So Heikin-Ashi candles are these ones. So you can see a trend is a little bit better here, right? And it's different on every time frame, right? So it's still going to show green up here, right? If we go down 45, I like having all the time frames. So I can kind of see how they change as you go over time. It's like, okay, so the downward trend is beginning now, right? When you're looking at a 10-minute, there's different strategies. One say like you don't enter until you see the third candle that doesn't have a wick. There's different things like that. There's different rules. I find though that on the shorter time frames, it's just harder. If you're a swing trader for days, we'll say, or days or weeks or something, then they're better for you, where you don't need to be as precise, and you're probably using lower leverage, 5x or lower or something like that. You're not using a 100x or something like that. It's kind of hard 10x max if I was going to be looking at this. You know what I mean? Kind of hard because it's not as precise. I mean, it's showing me the line here, but like I don't know what the entry and exit was, so I have to switch back to this, and now I can see. So it's just, there's many ways to approach this unlimited. You're going to find a way that works for you. And that's pretty much it. We're going to end this jam though. Bitcoin all-time high, man. You got to love it. If you're a long-term investor, you know what I'm saying? You got to love it. I want a Bitcoin bestie. You got to love it. We're going to end it right there. Y'all been great. Appreciate the super chats. Like, share, subscribe. Matt was calling out in the private group. Try to get me over 10,000 subscribers. I haven't put out a new video in a while, Matt. So I got to make a new video, and then hopefully that will get me some more subscribers, and you guys can share it for me. But we're going to play Bitcoin Bestie one more time before I leave. It's currently my favorite crypto song ever out. Let me stop the music in the background. Shout out Randy Hipper. Her first rap music video, and she killed it. So you got to love it. And this one never gets old to me, man. I swear. Let's go. Peace, y'all. Have a great Sunday and a great week next week. Tap into the Discord, and we're going to keep it lit. Cassius Cuvée.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie.
Just waking up from a nice dream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Ever seen live trading on a widescreen? Bitcoin showing you the steps to own it. We got the alpha, I bet you want it. I'm having fun, send a lecture on it. Randy, put a little extra on it.
It's mutable and decentralized, no censorship or hard cap supply. It's open source and we classify the blockchain secure, and that's exactly why. It's hard money with a new plan. It bounced a lot like this new jam. If Bitcoin dipped, then we ain't gon' trip. I'ma be bullish on you, fam.
It's great for those who just DCA'd. If you stacking sats and you trying to save, some like to hodl, some like to trade. I'ma do both, just ride the wave. When price drops, don't get angry. Man, that's just how the game be. I seen worse, nothing really pains me. I'm a Bitcoin bull, can't change me.
It's the best assets of the old times, like the 1849 gold mines. It's a gold rush happening in yo time. Every 4 years gonna blow minds. Let's see, investing. When Bitcoin met me, it blessed me. Positive is just how I live. All I gotta say is stay zesty.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
By now you should know that it's here to stay. When inflation and fiat is running away, I I've been here since back in the day when they said it would never hit 100K.
Hey,
You trust the
100K.
banks? Well, I trust the code. Price predictions, I barely stress. Hit a mill in 5 years? Maybe less. When it does, you'll see it on the Daily Zest.
You should watch if you new or clever trader. She's too cool, you could never hate her. She gotta be the #1 educator. Could explain Bitcoin to a 7th grader. Gotta say what's up to the super chat. Special shout out to the last tipper. Bitcoin bestie, Randy Hipper. That shoe fit like a glass slipper.
This got my friends in a frenzy. We ain't even trying to be trendy. I'm a digital girl in a digital world. Out here repping it for Gen Z. We peer to peer cause the future's here. All grown up and permissionless. Now picture this, we're witnesses. By now you should know what the mission is.
Crypto winner is so frigid, it's no gimmick, but I'm cold with it. I've been in it since 4 digits. Price going up with no limits. I'm Cuvée like fine wine. Whenever I rhyme, come toast me. Grab the homie, raise a glass. One love to Satoshi.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. 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 I'm a Bitcoin bestie.